So I thought we should shortly look into widgets, and to understand widgets we probably need to understand a little bit about the history of WordPress, because widgets were around way before the block editor, and the idea behind the widgets was that you should be able to inject small kind of functionality blocks into your page. And as you probably hear, it's kind of blocks, but it is not the blocks that we have today, because they are called widgets. Since the latest version that we have today, 5.8, widgets are kind of going away, because nowadays you use blocks in the widget editor. But you might still have widget areas, and in the 2021 theme they are placed here. So when you arrive at the bottom of your page, you have a widget area where you can have one or more blocks. So how do we edit those? Well, you can edit them in two ways. You can either reach the editor via the customizer, and here we have widgets. And now you see we have a typical block editor. I can click the plus sign and add any block, or I can click the plus sign up here, and now I have the block selector here, so I can select any block that I want. Another way to reach to the widgets is to, if you're in the dashboard, or if you directly go to widgets, it's the same as go to appearance and then widgets. Now it will appear in the main area here and just show the widgets. So now they look bigger, but it is the same kind of area. If I have more than one widget area in the theme, because the widget areas are described in the theme, so dependent on the theme you might have one or more widget areas. And some themes that are kind of built before 5.8, and that is actually most of the themes that you can download, they might have actually quite a lot of widget areas, because they might have specific widget areas for the front page, because that made it easy to inject what you wanted into the front page. So that's the reason. There is also a box here with the inactive widgets, and now I placed a calendar widget there because I'm not using that anymore. Then I can save them there in a kind of, if I do a lot of settings, then I can kind of move them from the inactive widget areas to the active widget areas. That is one of the areas. Now I only have one, but anyway, so it's the same. And as we have gone through the block editor, there is kind of nothing magic. But what we need to know is that if you use a theme that isn't updated yet to the block editor version of widgets, well, then it might look really strange. Because if I do like this, I go to the themes and I install this or activate the page builder framework again, and then I hit customize, and then we go to widgets. You see that now it says block, 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 block. And if I open one of these, you see that, oh, this looks really strange, because this is how WordPress saves block into the database. Because WordPress tries to save only what is pure HTML. So WordPress has kind of done a little bit the same that PHP did in the beginning. It has kind of borrowed the HTML comments and uses that to save extra data, because if that should be sent to the browser, well, it will still work and nothing else will change. But when WordPress reads these comments, it can kind of do the magic. So usually if you look at the page, these comments are not sent to the browser, they are kind of handled before that one within WordPress. So this is a transition phase, and it will look strange in some themes for some time, so be prepared for that. It might be hard to edit them in your theme at the moment. The old widgets are still there, because if I close this one and go to widgets here, where I have all the widgets in this list, well, now you see that I have all the old widgets, and if I had installed plugins that added widgets, they would show up here also. Should I then use the image widget or should I use the image block? Well, at the moment it depends on your theme, but in the end it will all be blocks. So we are transitioning from widgets and turn them into blocks, because in the end, the end goal with WordPress is that everything should be block. So this is the future.